Hello, everyone. I'm very excited for you to be here. I am gonna talk about a subject that I'm very passionate about, that I'm happy to share with you guys. I have, give me a second for sharing my slides. Uh, so give me a thumbs up if you can see the slides. Yes, that's working. A little timetable I've prepared for today. So we're gonna say a quick round of hellos, introducing ourselves. I'm gonna talk about my background and my work, talk about what a sound journey is, what the instruments are that are being used. Then we are gonna get ready for the experience part. I've sent those of you who have registered an email with a sound file that was downloadable. You can use that for the experience, but you can also use the sound coming through Zoom. For the experience part, then there's going to be a short little break to settle and reassemble. And then the part that I'm most excited about is sharing the experiences, sharing what was happening with you in that experience in the short sound session, and then we're gonna finish this all together. And before we fully start, yeah, quick reminder, it's being recorded, and also later for the sound part, already a little warning, be mindful that if you are reacting to strobe light or strong stereo effects, to maybe not do this through a headphone. Don't worry too much about it. If it concerns you, then you are already aware of it at this stage in your life. Nothing to really worry about. But if you're sensitive, just a little heads up. And also, as I'm gonna play around with a few instruments that are on the tables around me, if there's at one point any difficulty with understanding me, if the audio quality is not great, just let me know. I cannot, as I only have one screen, I cannot see everyone at all times. So if you need to notify me of anything, just feel free to unmute yourself and let me know. And before we start with me talking, let's do a quick round of introductions. So just a sentence or two. Who are you and where are you? And also either what brings you here today or what are you bringing today? I am Achim Brandenburg. I'm in Scotland, and I'm really curious about what you will share after our little sound experience today. And who wants to go next?
I'll go next. I'm next to you on the screen. Um, I'm interested in sound. I've benefited from work with toning and work with like Tibetan bowls, gongs,
Hmm.
and so I've found the just the notion that we are vibration, and the way that sound does impact us. Fascinating. That's why I'm here.
Great.
And I live in Paris. I'm American, but I live over here. And I appreciate you doing this. I feel that it's really very, very much along the lines of the creative mindset. And so I'm looking forward to this experience. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Who's next? Angela.
Yeah, I can go next. I connect to vibration. The same, I'm pretty sensitive to vibration. Already did some like kind of sound massages or also yoga with the balls, and I really love it because it really feels like that there is another kind of communication going on within the body. So I'm curious how is going to be the experience also online. So, and I was really happy when you proposed to offer this session. And I don't know if I said it, I'm Italian and I live in Germany, in Frankfurt.
Great. Hello, thank you.
Hi, thank you, dear.
Who's next? Stella.
Yeah, hi, I'm Stella from Finland, from city of Turku. And Achim, I'm so interested in your work, so that brings me here today.
Great. Great to have you. Li Hong.
Hi, I'm Li Hong. I'm in Southern California. I'm very interested in the sound and how I'm curious about how I would feel and experience. Yeah, and I appreciate that you provide this opportunity. Yeah, and the timing is good for me. Yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
And next. Hope and Angelika at the same time. Okay, Angelika.
So, no.
Here we go.
Here we go. Yeah, Angelika from Germany, Munich. And what brought me here or brings me here is your invitation. So we met during the Creative Mind last year. We were in the small group, and the way you explained what you are doing, you worked as a DJ, and everything made me just curious. So I'm just curious about what you are doing, and I think I was quite impressed by that what you said about music. The way you are connected to music made me just curious. So yeah, and I strongly believe in this feeling music, you know, that isn't only hearing, but is this resonance when music brings a resonance to the body. So yeah, pure curiosity.
Great. Curiosity is always a great starting point. Welcome. Hope.
I love that Angelika said that she's here, like it was your invitation. Yay! Yeah, I was so excited by your invitation and this opportunity to experience you and your art and your craft. You've become very dear to me over this year since meeting you in Creative Mind, and I am just I'm curious and I'm excited and I'm very happy to just get to experience you doing this, which you are so passionate about. And I am rediscovering my connection to music. I've lived without music for a long time. And recently I'm just getting back into just moving into sensation. And so I'm really curious, as others have said, about what this will feel like.
Great.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome. Who are we hearing from next? Nigel.
Yeah, Achim, thank you so much for putting this on today. I'm really looking forward to it. And music and sound has played a big part in my life. And I'm noticing more and more how the changes in that energy will support a change in state for me. And I'm really curious to explore that further.
Great.
So I'm really grateful to you for allowing me to do that today.
Great.
Thank you.
Welcome. Who do we have next? Adrienne.
Hi everyone, I'm Adrienne. I'm from Paris, and yeah, I came because of the invitation, and I enjoy to see Achim. So that's one of the reasons. And also, I never experienced sound journey or sound therapy, so I'm very curious about it.
Great. Welcome. Who did we not hear from yet? Bhavana.
Yeah. I'm Bhavana. I live in Madrid. I'm Spanish. And the sound word is just my word. It's home. Times ago I received Tibetan balls sessions and didgeridoo session, also really strong. I dream with songs, and I recognize my feelings when I start to sing. It depends. Yes, it's my natural way. It's just singing in different
Great.
songs come to me. Yeah.
Great.
Yes. For the moment, it's all. Thank you.
Beautiful. Welcome. And next, Noella.
Sound's such a big thing, isn't it? From music to talk. My background's NLP, so we were kind of taught about the auditive and the visual and kinesthetic, and but definitely sound is such a powerful thing. I don't remember the name, but the guy who uses music for crystals and water to make that different sounds of music create different organizations, and the effect on plants, what they've done with metal rock. I am in the music industry, so it's a big part of my life. So I really want to thank you for doing this, and I love the idea of this community offering these great reconnects through these workshops. So really thank you for that.
Great. Thanks for being here. Did we hear from everyone now? I think we have. Okay, so I think I'm gonna talk a bit about. No, first, I hear a lot of curiosity in all of you, and we heard from some of you having a connection to music, having a connection to sound already, and yeah, the idea of today already resonating with who you are. So I'm happy for us to be in this space together to explore. So I'm quickly gonna talk about how I came to work the way I work. So I have been DJing for over 25 years and been involved with sound and music for longer and in different capacities. So I have produced music, I have done sound design and programming for fashion shows, for film, TV, theater. I have a radio show, so that is big part of my world and who I am. And on the other hand, at one point the music scene needed a balance for me, so I trained as a mediator, and that's for the first time where I encountered that space where something can be locked and then all of a sudden there's flow. And I found that absolutely fascinating and just started looking for different ways to get to that space, to find out more about it. So of course you then end up reading Milton Erickson, and you end up with Stephen Gilligan, all of that. That was my journey, and the slide I had up at the very beginning, and not all of you will have seen it. It had "Let This Darkness Be a Bell Tower" by Rilke, the poem, on it, which was first time I heard Stephen Gilligan speak. It was the first things he ever said, and that struck such a big chord with me, as I was already exploring the world of sound work at that time. And for me, these things always went hand in hand, exploring a similar space. So, and originally when I made plans to do this here, I was planning to talk about why I think this is going hand in hand and why I think it's the same space. And then I realized, no, it's going to be much more interesting if it's more about experiencing this, not me priming you with what I say, but to hear from you and to hear how it resonates with each and every one of you. Yeah, I'm gonna start by, before we go into the experience, like I would with clients, I would usually present the instruments that I'm using. I think it's a good idea to be familiar with at least some of them, so I have them standing all around me. I will go through them, and just in a quick way, just notice what resonates with you. Notice what you notice where you think, oh, there's curiosity there. We have a long part for questions and discussion after the sound experience. So make mental notes of everything that you want to know more about. And yeah, it starts with a little overview. And let me quickly start sharing my screen again. So, what is a sound journey? So, it's often sold as something ancient, but it's like so many things, invention of hippies in the 60s. Obviously, the instruments that are being used in it, they date from much, much longer times. But when we talk about the sound journey, sound bars, gong bars, that's all something like 60 years old. It's also, as you can see, these are pictures of sessions I was hosting. It's quite often happening in a space where also yoga is practiced. It's often terminology used in that shared space. So that's often what it is. Also, I think I want to bring attention that all the ingredients, all the different instruments, they can be used for individual practice as well. So it's not just seeing them as part of the big sound journey, sound bars, but also an individual practice. And so the main instruments that are being used is a voice, then it's nature sounds or sounds imitating nature. We have untuned percussion, tuned percussion, drone, and there's also electronic alternatives. And I will go into each and every single one of them in the next minutes. So starting with voice, that has obviously been done for the longest time. We heard from someone already who has that in their repertoire. You might have experienced how a day starts better when you sing under the shower. It's some people know that people singing in choirs are amongst the happiest people in the world. So it's a really easy way to start connecting to sound and music and being part of it. So what I would like to do first is a little easy in warm up, which I call the slow sigh. You might have noticed in yourself or in others how a lot can be happening in the body when there is a sigh going on. So there's a dropping going on and it is connecting to sound. And what I would like to invite you to do with me is do a slow sigh, starting with a very high tone, humming that, and then descending in pitch and noticing how it changes the sound in the body. So if you do that in an actual room in a group, it's actually quite fun with everyone doing that. Now I will be, as you are muted, the only one you can hear, but so start with a high pitch hum and then go down in pitch, something like this. And I invite you to do that and notice what you notice. And I get to a point where my lips tingle. And thank you for unmuting and sharing me with that, so I'm not alone with that. That's great. And I just love how it activates the body. I just love how you notice the vibration in you. So if we work with people who might not be used to questions like, and where in the body do you feel that? That is a great way to warm up, to connect. And also, yeah, voice being always a great way to just manifest yourself into the world. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to say about voice. Next up on the list we have nature sound and nature imitation sound. Some of you might be also working outdoors, so you might have noticed with clients how sound can be a positive effect if the wind comes on in the right moment, bird song, and you will have maybe noticed an effect on you. So obviously it's all out there in the nature, but on the slide you can see a few things that we can use to imitate that. So I've got these seed pods here, and you can use them for a sound that is reminding of water, almost like a babbling brook, or rain drums, rain sticks. They are quite popular. So you can create a sound of waves in the ocean in your home. There's plenty of others. So little bird whistles can be used, and yeah, just a quick overview of those. Then next on my list, I have the untuned percussion, which is drums, rattles, shakers, and some of you might be familiar with the trance that is created by a repetitive sound. I have to say that's not big part of my practice, as that repetitiveness in sound and rhythm for me is covered by techno music. But yeah, some of you might have experienced a drumming session and the trance states that can be coming from that. And next big field is tuned percussion, something like handpans, tongue drums. They are getting more and more popular, and they are just beautiful things. So they are really often in a pentatonic scale system. So you have notes where you don't have wrong notes. There can be no discord, disharmony between the notes. I have a little kalimba here, so no matter which ones you play together, there will always be harmony, and that can be also used if you're working with people, for them to actually experience it, go out, manifest themselves in the world through sound, and it will all be welcome. It will all add to a beautiful picture. I've got other things in the image, like these beautiful chimes, often called energy chimes, and also very beautiful chimes like this. And I see Bhavana mousing. Oh wow! I see we have a fan here. I love them as well. So there's steel tongues inside, and also with a pentatonic tuning or a different tuning that only allows harmony, and therefore we just can go into this world of sound where everything is beautiful. And next, the big field. The main field of instruments being used in that world are drones. There are different types, so it's wind, string, and also bells and gongs. I'm going to go into detail with those now. So the first one is the wind drones. I've got what's also in the image, a shruti box here, so it works through a bellow system, and these levers, I think you would call it here, you can change the chords that are being played. So and those are great to create a blanket, a carpet of sound. That is a very safe space if you want to work with voice, with someone humming or singing. It's a great support to sing over that. It just feels you much more, makes you feel much safer to put yourself out there. And harmonium is related to that, and there you can play full melodies. Next we have the strings, any kind of harps, lyres, monochords are in that family. These are usually wooden bodies that have several strings on them, either tuned to all the same note or in harmonious chords. Also creating lots of really beautiful vibration to go into the body. Monochords are often built as furniture even, so there is beds to lie on. If you ever get a chance to experience that, go for it. It's phenomenal, the amount of vibration going into the body. And now we're coming to the main field of instruments used, and those are the gongs or the bells. We have the classic hanging gongs, what is used in gamelan. Those are gongs too, but they are lying. Bells and bowls, so most of them are made of metal, with some exceptions. There are glass bowls as well. And I'm quickly gonna grab one of my smaller gongs and just let you experience the sound. And later in the experience part, you get a better chance to return to that. So you might have noticed the quality of the sound opening up, there being an evolving in the sound. And that is due to overtones developing. So the way metal vibrates in that shape, it adds more tones that are harmonious, and therefore you get this opening effect. You can also experience that with a bowl. Gonna play that. And other than the sound changing in quality, maybe evolving a bit, maybe opening up, you might have noticed a pulsing in the tone, and that is one of the main things that have the therapeutic property in instruments like that. So the shape of the, I've tried to illustrate it in this little drawing here. The shape, we don't have one sound source in the bell, but it's creating sound everywhere. And through interference, the sound waves overlay and build these waves of tops and valleys, and through that you get that pulsing effect that is also a strong stereo effect on us, which we now know as a very positive effect on the brain, our body hemispheres, our brain hemispheres being stimulated. Yes, so and there's one more. There's plenty of electronic alternatives nowadays. So next to CDs and streaming services, there is little electronic gadgets, like we see here a little electronic version of the Shruti box, and what you see over here that looks a bit like maybe hockey pucks. That is something some of you might have been to Devorah Simon's workshop. She used them. They are also absolutely amazing. So there's a whole world of different instruments there. That yeah, that was just a quick overview. And I'm gonna stop the slide for a moment. Are there any burning questions right now that you want to ask? Just let me know. Okay, good. It looks like we are open to go into the experience part, and let me quickly. Yes, so I go back to sharing my slides. So what I have already written in the email, the sound journey that is often experienced in a position where we are lying down, but you are free to do whatever you want to do. So the main thing about this is being comfortable. It's going to be roughly 30 minutes. So make sure you will be in a comfortable position for that time. Also be mindful. Yeah, we spoke about the weather dropping a bit in temperature. Be mindful. Half an hour of not moving will cool you down, so having a blanket ready is a good idea. Also, maybe something to drink for afterwards. Have that ready is a good idea, and make sure you will be undisturbed in that space. That is going to be beneficial to you to have that just for yourself. If you want to listen to it through headphones, that is a great idea. Volume wise, I would say it's going to be a bit louder than the audio we had so far. Be mindful of that. Maybe have it at a setting volume wise that you would listen to music to, not banging it out, but just comfortable listening. Also, yes, I sent you the link for the file to download if you want to go for that version and don't have it on a different device than your computer. It makes sense to, once we start, to leave the Zoom room and come back so you don't have the sound twice. I would ask you during the experience to remain muted. If there's anything I can do for you, the chat function remains open. You can reach out to me. There's going to be 31 minutes of sound followed by 4 minutes of space just for you to return and reassemble and maybe have a quick bio break. Just use that time for yourself, so 35 minutes in total. Usually these sessions start with maybe something like a guided meditation, maybe a prompt to have this as close as possible to yourself. I would just suggest use your personal favorite method to get into coach state. That's always a great state to start that. Be welcoming of everything that might be coming up. Don't attach to anything. If a thought comes up, just treat it like a thought, like breathing. Take it in and let it go, and be ready for the next to turn up. If you want to, you can float the idea of the 6 or 7 steps somewhere in the room, and the main thing is just for you to relax and enjoy the experience. And as I said, if movement is part of your repertoire, go for that. Otherwise, a still position is a good way to do that. And I have the feeling I'm starting to repeat myself. Are there any questions about how to start, how to go into this experience? Angela, was that a hand? No, that was okay. Good. So first 3 minutes are just bells. If you want to use that time to connect to the coach state, that is a good start. I'm slowly getting my sound device ready here. I'm gonna have all of you muted. You can turn your camera off, you can leave it on, whatever you prefer. And at the end of the journey, you will hear my voice in the recording. You will still have 4 minutes then to return to yourself. And let me quickly check my notes if I forgot anything that you need to know before going into this. No, I think you are good. So I will see you in 35 minutes. The sound world, I will mute Nigel and enjoy. I see you soon. And just take a moment to notice what has come up for you during this experience. Notice what it is in you that has been touched. Just take the time for everything to settle in the right place for you. Everything that you might want to come back to. Just be aware and take the time to slowly and gently return to the here and now, inviting movement to return to the body. Maybe you feel a stretch or yawn coming up. And whenever you are ready, take a deep breath and fully return, opening your eyes. And that is everyone back in the room. And I hope you had a great experience. And I see some smiles, I see some relaxed faces. And I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you experienced, how it was for you, what was touched, and yeah, I invite you to unmute and share what it was that was coming up for you. Angela, your hand is up.
So I had the mainly physical sensation. It was a super nice, and I was asking myself also if there was a but I'm going to ask first the question, but then I'm going to say what I experienced. Because I was experiencing so many physical sensations, there was a sensation like almost the head vibrating and then opening up, but also in the chest. There were some notes where clearly was corresponding to deep breath, a certain moment, even one after the other, towards somewhere in the middle, I don't remember anymore where. And then also the hips. So there was and I was asking myself if tendentially the different, as it was really very different vibrations, if there is a correspondence within the body, if the body answered to the different tonalities, kind of, if there is also like a connection and not only a personal experience. And then I loved a certain moment. I thought I was imagining like birds. I loved all the sounds that were like connecting to nature. Also, like a certain moment that the rest, it sounded like the sea or anyway waves and so on. So it was really nice, this intertwining of different sounds. I loved it, I would say, as conclusion.
Great. And so the question that you have, is that a question that you want me attempt to answer, or is that a question that you want to hold within yourself?
No, I would like you to answer if there is an answer.
I don't think there is a straightforward answer. So as everyone experiences it itself, obviously a lot of the instruments have been used for quite a while, and there is a priming for certain tones, for certain harmonies that we all are exposed to in our cultural backgrounds. So certain sounds being connected to happiness, others to sadness. Obviously, all of that can go into it. There is research of bone conducting sound at certain frequencies. So certain frequencies, they have it easier to travel in the body than others. There is a lot going into that. Is that going in the direction of answering your question?
Yeah, makes sense. So there is also a connection, and then the personal experience clearly. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Who else? Bhavana.
Yes. The feeling was 10 minutes, not 35. And then, yes, so, yes.
Yeah.
And I was not really easy some parts.
Yep.
Today I had a headache,
Mm-hmm.
and in the first part was, oh, it's not a Brahma meditation, it's fantastic, no? Wow. But after when I start this, my head start, and I need to change my body because a lot of pain in the back. At this, I had the opportunity to bring the awareness to my body, really, because the last time I don't take care of me properly. Oh, okay. And relax there is like painful. I have the feeling I'm too dense. I feel density, not open. And I start to say yes to this vibration and start to be easier. And now I feel very good in my head.
Good.
Really.
Great.
And now also in a moment I start to have a tension release. I need to put in my side, in the back it's not possible, and start to with like spasms.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, tension release, very like when I receive a craniosacral therapy, this kind of release. Yes, wow, strong, and after I felt okay. And when I changed to these birds and the seeds, Mexican seeds, and with, oh yes, it's the nature, I know it's not fire, but to me it's fire. Yes, but when I start just to enjoy, I just finish, and I want more.
Great.
Thank you very much. It's very, very big healing to me. Session healing session.
Thank you. With especially the sound of the gong, what you described, that is definitely a sound that can be challenging. So full disclosure, my first experience with a gong was not a positive one. I found it way too challenging at that time. There was too much stuff going on for me to handle, and it is challenging, but I'm very happy to hear that you found the repertoire in you to be with that. What you said, go into movement, change position, that is ways to taking care of yourself, and I'm glad in the end it came to a place where you seem to be happy about the experience. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Who wants to share? Nigel.
Well, when you asked us, Achim, to share, first of all, I found myself saying, how will I find the words? And what happened with me was that the sound waves carried me.
Mm-hmm.
And I found myself floating, kept being carried on those sound waves, taken from place to place. When I say place, images came to my mind and I was carried so gently. I never felt any, I did feel discomfort, but the discomfort came where there was silence, where there was no sound. All the time I was aware of the sounds and the energy that carried me. I felt supported. That was very healing.
Great.
When there was space between there, I felt alone and I felt very vulnerable, almost as if I was falling.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a very lovely experience that I didn't want to end.
Okay.
So why did you bring me back?
I always feel so guilty when it ends. I always think, oh, A, it's too short. B, how do you start again? You are in that in that space, and me personally, I just want to remain there. I have the feeling, okay, to ask you, hey, share your experience. I feel I'm almost violating you to go back into that mode after that experience. So
Please don't feel guilty. If we don't come back, we can't do it again.
okay, that's good. Thank you so much. Thank you. Who else wants to share? Angelika.
Yeah, first of all, thank you. And so I can relate nearly to everything someone already said. So the first thing for me was I couldn't find words. And then there was something within me saying, no, that wasn't 35 minutes, huh? At a maximum 15. So the same feeling, I didn't want it to end. And then what Angela described, so that was pretty similar to my feelings too. So I had a resonance at some point in my head. It felt like these little waves flowing through the brain, and it was an image. The waves only in the brain, so that I could feel exactly the size of the brain, and at another point in the chest. So I didn't feel my hips, but as I said, I can relate to everything a little bit. So it was just a great experience. Yeah. So I was. Somehow I kept my curiosity throughout the process. I was just curious. Okay, what comes next?
Great.
And what is this? What is this for an instrument, for instance? Yeah, what this could be as a tone, and just beautiful. The word, I think it's beautiful. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. I can also very much relate to all of that has been said, and this being in the body and experience it differently and things happening. It's still fascinating to me as well. Who are we hearing from next? Noella and Hope. Noella, I think. Yes, there we go.
I think what it did for me is there was very little internal dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
So there wasn't like a meta commenting on what was going on. And it was like, do you know when you just are nearly falling asleep? You're just bordering on that before you go to sleep. And it was like lingering there on that line. And just every time I thought I was going to fall asleep, then a new sound came on.
Yep.
So there was really nice pulse. And I remember at some point I thought, I was really wanted to be very conscious of what was going on. And it was like, no, I just let myself be carried. A bit what Nigel said as well. It's like becoming the sounds. That was the best, but kind of would how it felt to me. I just became the sounds.
Great.
That was really, really nice. So thank you.
Great, thank you. Hope, you were next. Hope and Kat.
Hope and Kat. She's all sacked out here. Yeah, thank you. It was very spatial experience. Like I felt myself moving away and then coming back. Somehow my consciousness moving away, coming back. I felt different like I became aware of different parts of myself holding on, I think physically. And so then I could somehow then there would be a letting go and a settling. And I thought it was about my guess was it was 7 or 8 minutes in, and I thought, oh, I should do this thing. I wear this ring that measures heart rate variability and things. And oh, you too, great. So I put on this, I set it up to do this 20-minute just tracking. But the 20 minutes was up right when we finished. So my sense of time really expanded and separated from clock time. But the thing told me, my heart rate went very low. My heart rate variability went very high for me. So there's this objective report of particular physiological responses. But I feel soft and open, and it was just a remarkable kind of phenomenon of a time. And I'm very curious about other textures of sound and my response to them. And I also want to say I need to meet up with my Tai Chi teacher in 30 minutes. So I'm going to have to duck out, but I want to stay as long as I can. And I'm just going to quietly leave. But I'm so grateful. And it's been lovely to do this together with all of you.
Yeah, great, thank you. What Hope is saying, I'm just checking the clock. So we are at the time that I said it was going to be. We haven't heard from everyone yet. So for people who will have to leave, let's maybe do a quick finishing together and then we continue afterwards. So everyone gets a chance to speak and we continue the conversation. And Angela, you want to say something?
Just another quick question, which is really weird because usually I don't have questions, but today apparently I'm the one who has questions. You send us this recording with the music. Can we keep it and to listen it? So I didn't.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
For yours. It's for you to keep and listen to it again and enjoy it.
Thank you.
So let's do a quick finishing together and then continue. So for those of you who have to leave on time, that we still have a shared finish, and then I'm happy to go on for quite a while if you are open to chat and want to talk and have questions. And so just all of us together, let's take a moment to take a deep breath and just taking aboard what has been useful to us and finding everything a place to settle and everything for a place where it needs to be. Every part of the experience that wants or needs to be revisited, just finding a place for that. And just being aware of that shared space of us together today. And I'm I'm very grateful for that. And thank you all. And I won't stop the recording, I won't close the room, but if you need to leave on time, you can from now. I release you, but I'm happy to continue our conversation. Thank you so much. Okay. And I want to hear from you. Share. Okay. Stella, Li Hong, and Adrien, we haven't heard from you yet. If you want to share.
I'll just share. And I have to go. I felt the first part. I felt the space around me it's like I was with the sound, and it made me feel the space around me, and it's with each sound, it's going further and further expanding. Something like that. I was trying to feel, okay, I have the space, I have the power, or whatever, the energy within it. And the last part, I think it's maybe higher frequency. I had some image. I was in a very bright, beautiful space with some of my friends and families. Yeah, very, very nice feeling. Yeah. Yeah, very, very good. Thank you.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And thanks. Sorry, I have to go. I have to take my kids to school.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Stella, Adrien. Stella.
I can go. Yeah, I loved the whole set of the music and the variation. You are a magician in that sense, that you were able to create the whole storyboard. And I was like Noella, dozing off and in and out, like nearly falling asleep. And then eventually I fell asleep, and I woke up on the silent moment, and I thought, oh shit, have I really passed, the session? And then the light sounds came up. So, I mean, I was, going, it was really interesting, because I was desperately trying to keep up, and then it was so relaxing. And I felt it from opening on my chest and letting go. So really powerful. Thank you, Achim.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Adrien, my friend.
Yeah. Yesterday I was walking barefoot in the forest with friends, and it was a lot of sensations, and I was deeply touched, and I feel the same today listening to your sounds. Yeah, I'm still processing it. Yeah, I felt many sensation of opening in the chest, of I don't remember all of the sensation. I remember many images, many, seems like places in the nature. So yeah, still processing, and thank you. It was a very great experience.
Great, thank you, thank you. Yeah, there's a few of us left. I'm happy to answer questions. I'm happy to go more into detail about things if you wanna spend time thinking how it connects to genetic coaching or creative mind. If you still got time, we can do that. But also, if you say, yeah, I'm done for the day, that's also fine. What do you feel like?
Yes, I'm curious about how I will start Creative Mind, but I have some ideas about what it is already. But I'm curious about how you connect this practice you had before, I think, already with this context of generative change.
So I think the best way to answer that is we work the best when we are our authentic self, and I know for you I know your creativity being such a big part of who you are, and for me, sound is that, to be able to bring that into the space where I can work with clients. Is a making it possible for me to, yeah, be my authentic best self, is me to weave my strengths from different areas together. um yeah, I was a person who never had access to anything past a brain up here. I was experiencing the world through a brain, and sound was the only way for me to go deeper into myself, to have access to anything beyond the plans I made for my life or myself. And this is how I learned to into the body. So this is where I'm coming from. The little exercise we did with the humming in the voice, I think stuff like that is a great opener for me personal. In all the training I received in the sound, the most valuable thing has been a teacher who said, the best thing I can advise you is sit down with a sound bowl and meditate with it. So it's for me, it is a way to access things quicker than I could in other ways. And it's just, it's my language, it's what comes natural to me. And therefore I use it. And I'm looking at Havana again. If I get this out, this is so magical to me. I heard it so many times, and it's still magical to me, and it is to many people. And it's just my way of, in a coaching situation, to bring the magic, to open up worlds that are not there or not accessible otherwise. And I hope that kind of answered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay.
Are you going to participate the next Creative Mind?
Sorry?
I asked you if you are going to participate in the
Yep.
next Creative Meet.
Yeah, I signed up, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Oh, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Mm. That
Uh,
make easier to follow in contact.
Good.
Yes.
Great.
I
Stella.
was wondering because when I was younger with the techno music, you had the waves inside the techno music, and I was just the sensation when you are dancing and then having the techno sound and that, and you were doing DJ work and combining. Have you been able to somehow, combine more tempo music, like a really like this, not a disco, but like a techno sounds or something like that into the sessions? Or is it, have you experienced all of, with that, or is it only with this kind of a slower meditation, more like we had now? I mean,
Yeah, the thing is, there is I think ecstatic dance or ecstatic movement. I'm not sure what it's called. There is quite a movement of that for me. For the moment, I'm keeping it kind of separate. Obviously, um, one will inform the other. Things that you are aware you bring into all the worlds, but yeah, it's more a gentle uh, awareness for me than the trance ecstatic part of it. Yeah. Anything else? Okay. So I'm gonna thank you, and I'm gonna stop the recording now. Thank you so much.